as said, Kate's not going to be around today. Oh, I forgot to copy everyone's stuff here. But just to get us started, I'll mention that I am still feeling a little under weather. So excuse me if at times there might be some slight errors in continuity between between sessions here. I hopefully will that won't happen, but maybe if I haven't noticed something down, it might be different this week. But also, since it has been a week now, I am in this situation. I'm making a little bit of an exception in that I can help you out if you have something in terms of notes from last week that you're not quite sure what happened. I can tell you it again if I remember.
Okay.
Since yeah, your characters aren't quite that amnesiac.
Well, just point out to everyone, if Dupe doesn't remember, it probably isn't important. So we can trick him to giving us answers.
Yeah. Hold on, I forgot to
Who's
do.
the bad guy at the end of the campaign, Dupe? You told us last time. I definitely remember that.
I mean, I could tell you, but then I'd have to change it.
Where would be the fun in that?
No fun.
It was the donkey all the time. It was Fluffy, following us around, stalking our every movement.
No, Fluffy is actually Jurgle, just polymorphed constantly. Keeping an eye out on his favorite patron, or his favorite.
All right, there we go. I finally actually brought up the camera as well and everything. So, okay, so who wants to catch us up on what happened last time? No need to go into details about the investigation necessarily, but
Sure.
Well, I can do it.
So if you want to do Janice, go for it.
Yeah. So upon arriving at the Beaver Rock Inn, the party initially settled in for a completely normal night of relaxation and then sleeping, hoping to travel onwards the next day. But alas, our rest was interrupted by the tragic event of one of the inn's guests falling or being thrown or something off of an upper balcony and falling to her death on the floor below. And upon this incident, everybody woke up. The innkeeper called everyone down, and because our party was the only one on the ground floor, and therefore very likely could not have been the perpetrators of this crime if it was a crime. We were assigned to be the impromptu investigators of this incident. Upon receiving this role, we tried to control the area a bit, ran everyone through a quick interview to gather some preliminary information, and also searched the upstairs rooms for clues.
Did we find any clues? I kind of my internet got cut in the middle last week.
Yeah, you can, in the Discord, there's 2 PDFs, one from Kate and the one that I uploaded. I think Kate has more notes on what we found in the rooms.
Yeah, looking at
but
yours.
I have a section at the bottom called Room Clues.
yeah, that's pretty much it. I actually went ahead and I also browsed the notes. I didn't actually read them that much, but I just opened them up, and I was happy to see like the details of these notes. I especially liked I liked Kate's sort of diagram of of everything. Very, very organized, very good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Before we get started though, there was something I wanted to mention actually. I read an interesting article, and there was an article talking about the video game Disco Elysium, which I've actually been playing a little bit myself here recently. If you know about it. But basically, it uses a D&D like skill ability system in it as an RPG where you investigate stuff. And the article actually talked about how D&D could take some notes from that, and without going too much into details about like the examples, basically what it talked about was a bit of flexibility with skills, and I would like everybody to sort of challenge themselves and me in terms of how to use skills in more ways than just the basic stuff. Like the example that was given, one of them was that the perform skill, for example, which I believe Frid is the only one who's proficient in it. As it is in D&D 5th edition, it is basically only useful for bards because it's just for performances. But that was used as an example of a skill where instead of just using it as sort of an active skill in terms of I'm going to perform, it's also a skill that teaches you about theater and theatricality. So you could also use it in a way where you would use the perform skill to figure out if somebody is putting on an act, which is sort of similar to how insight works in terms of if they are lying, but it wouldn't necessarily be that they are lying, but performance would allow you to check if they are just like being really dramatic about it. So that kind of stuff, and you can think about similar things for all kinds of skills. So yeah, that's something I wanted to bring up as an interesting thing to give it a try. And of course, I'm going to say no to some suggestions that you come up with, but yeah, I'm open to hearing inventive uses of your skills, so that those less used skills also get some love.
Okay.
Yeah, sure thing.
I will start thinking of ways survival becomes applicable in our daily lives.
Yeah, I mean, so survival is more about well, survival would be something where you can use it, of course, the way that it's intended for survival situations, but it would also allow you to maybe recognize somebody who's good at survival, for example. That might come up. But yeah, things like that.
I like it.
With an
Yeah.
athletics check, you could tell if someone's on steroids or not, or if they're all natural.
How regularly do they go to the gym?
I mean, yes,
you
Donnie has the ability
probably.
to just know everyone's back squat max at 6. Oh yes. I could tell. How much you
Probably.
I was thinking that we could use maybe athletics as a sort of way to physically intimidate someone as opposed to verbally intimidate someone.
Yeah.
Like
I've seen that with barbarians before, where like physical prowess of somebody aids their intimidation, even if their intimidation and charisma.
Isn't that a specific skill?
I thought it was, yeah. Or it's like it works, like it already exists as rules. So like getting it to those who don't earn it makes it awkward. But I think is scary and strong. But I can appreciate.
Yeah, I mean, again, again, the same applies as with everything else, where I will be quite reluctant to give you any sort of abilities that are through some sort of feat or otherwise available to characters. But yeah, just something to think about, not necessarily just right now, but anyways. Well, I mean, you will probably be using some skills here today, less than combat abilities, because, well, I don't know, but I doubt that you are going to.
We can just fight everyone until they tell us who.
Yeah.
The two options: tell us who did it or die.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, Dupe, would I be able to use an attack action, but pull that blow so I'm like not trying to actually hit them, just so I can pull our master bonus strike them with the back of my club, so I can just like bop them without being sad.
So a non-lethal attack.
Yeah,
Like a D4 attack, yeah.
not slashing attack.
I
to do
mean,
a very minimal amount of bludgeoning damage with the back end of it.
No, because I think what you're trying to do is something that you can just do. Like the backhand attack is you could just use your action to just do that.
I thought that I had to. It was after I took the attack action I could do it. Either way.
I mean, yeah, in combat, yeah, but like otherwise, who cares? And also, if you're even in combat, I would probably let you use it if you were just using your whole action and not using attack in addition to it. I would probably give it to you, because that would be a dumb thing to do.
Yeah, it's
in combat.
It's just a worse version of an attack. So
yeah.
His goals are beyond your understanding.
Yeah. Okay, anyways. So yeah, where we left off was that you had finished interviewing everybody except for the Elven family. You had interviewed everybody else, and you had gone and checked all the rooms upstairs. And that's pretty much where we left off with Mervyn and where's Janice on this? Oh, Janice is over there. Yeah. Mervyn came down, and Donnie and
like a group huddle now, discussing. We've exchanged what we've learned, so to say.
Sure. If you want to go through some notes right now, go ahead. Basically, yeah, you come back to your room here together, and chatted that up.
Okay, guys. So here's the deal. We found the letter in the second room when you first walk upstairs. Single room. We're not sure who's living there. Wasn't the family. It's like nothing else marking who was in that room by chance. But that's where this letter was. Hand them the letter and show them. He's literally.
Can
I'm
killing investigate the letter for clues, like the handwriting, stuff like that?
Yep, you can do investigation.
Okay. Not bad.
How thoroughly are you looking through it right now?
Like, I'm not gonna hold it up, run it through like an invisible ink test or anything, but I want to see what language is this in? Does it look like it was written by an aristocratic hand? Does it have any other clues, dates, seals, stamps? Is the paper particularly fine? Stuff like that.
So just to a sort of kind of quick check, then you really don't find much about it. The handwriting doesn't seem to be exceptional in any way. It is written in common. It's not like especially bad. It's not especially good. It's middling, and yeah, about the paper itself, it's a pretty simple little paper square. Nothing special there either. You can't really figure out much anything that would right off the bat seem to help you with what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And this message is pretty short and it seems to be to the point, but does this raise any thieves' cant flags for me? Do I see an encoded message?
No.
Yeah. So clearly,
One of these days will happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
but clearly, the person who had these letters is at least a person we're concerned about possibly being the murderer in this case. Now, an option is this person is here to assassinate somebody entirely different, and they use this murder as a distraction. That could be an option. I'm just saying. I've been watching a lot of QAnon stuff. Anywho, I'm gonna point out that dragon lady, I believe, she likes weapons almost as much as I do. Okay, she's right by the balcony. We checked the balcony. I believe we checked it at least, and it seemed broken, but nothing too suspicious as to why the balcony broke there. But she was literally just a thin little wall away from this potential murder. So I don't think she did it because she was sharpening her blades. Because we went in there, one of her swords was like half sharp, half dull. It's a very unhelpful type of blade to bring into combat, from my experience.
Well, but she did say that she was asleep at the time this event occurred.
She doesn't want to be a snitch. That's the thing. She was clearly. No one goes to bed halfway through sharpening their sword. What kind of lunatic decides to go to bed without the ability to properly defend themselves in case they're attacked? I've never done that. Have you ever done that? That's what I thought.
No, of course not.
Of course not, Janice. You know what I'm talking about. Assassins live. So, I think we got to talk to her again. We got to figure out from the innkeepers the sleeping arrangements. And, I mean, we could let the dad and his kids that seem all sassy go back to bed, but, I mean, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. So, like, he could stay out here.
I don't know. There's still something that strikes me as suspicious with that family. I can't exactly put my finger on it, but something about their stories, it just doesn't quite line up to me.
I believe you. You talked to him. I didn't. He just looks irritable and like they're just a bunch of farmers. But you talked to him. I didn't. So I believe you. No words.
Or I mean, at least the obvious thing is none of the kids know why they're going to Redonia. And the father just gave vague answers about why they were doing it. There's clearly some sort of motivation there. I mean, maybe it's not connected with this specific plot, but there's something there.
That's not how parents usually act. I didn't have enough interaction with mine to really learn normal social cues.
Well, I mean,
he's taking care of his children. He's doing a pretty fine job. No.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what the standard is. My parents were gone by the time I was like 2, so it's like I don't know.
He left to go on holiday, but here's the important thing: he actually took his children with him. He didn't just leave by himself.
Could he really?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how this is with humans, but I mean, the children are 20 and 21 years old. They're not exactly young by human standards, right? I mean, when do humans get married, right?
12.
These
Whenever
aren't
their parents tell them to.
I guess. I mean, I wouldn't know, but I mean, these aren't just like some fresh. I mean, they're clearly older. I mean, and the son himself said that he was frustrated and thought this whole trip was unnecessary or something. But
well, and I don't know what Dad's doing per se, but to be fair, there's kind of a war a brewing. And so I might be like rushing my kids off places too. I don't know. Yeah. I might not communicate all that. Just saying. But fair enough.
Anyway,
a little sus.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you guys, Mervyn and Donnie, did you take a closer look at the railing?
I believe we did, and it seemed broken, but nothing crazy.
If we did, I'm pretty sure we left that as we're going to do that at the start of the next session.
Maybe we did that. I'm not entirely sure. I don't have my notepad fully filled out. But fun fact: that little gnome in his Goliath, their room has like a secret passage through like the fireplace. Like it goes on both sides. Like I couldn't probably. I'm a pretty thick boy, but like any of you more slender folks could probably just slide right on through there. I don't know why he would have killed nobody. Like they seem like a pretty professional arrangement going on, but fun little fact.
But even if I understand the layout properly, you would still pass the sight line of where the Goliath guard was sitting if you use this secret exit, right? I mean,
unless call me biased because I can jump like 30 feet on command. But I could potentially just go from down here, right by the bar, and just jump up right to the balcony, out of his line of sight, like right over here.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, but I'm
I mean,
also, I don't know if you know, but I love some basketball and I got some big ups. So like, I might be biased with what I can do, but a nimble person could probably do the same thing. I don't know. It's an option.
I think the key is in the broken railing. If we figure out how exactly it was broken, from which angle it was broken, that would probably go a long way as to finding out who
I
did it.
mean, I don't think we've checked on the specific strength of these railings, but there's a big difference between falling over a railing and being pushed through a railing. I mean,
the railing's definitely broken. Like, I almost guarantee someone knew that. But like,
so I mean, and what type of strength would you need to push someone so hard that they break through wooden supports specifically designed to prevent people from falling through? I mean, these railings, people presumably lean on them and look down over the bar now. So if it were extremely fragile, it would have broken a long time ago, unless it was deliberately weakened beforehand. I don't know.
If we should also search for things like, marks that are made by wire or string to see if that's how it kind of went on. I mean, that's how it broke. Somebody attached like a stone or something like that, and then they threw it, and then the whole railing went with the stone. Or
you mean somebody set up a trap?
So what if it was a trap that wasn't meant for this girl?
We did hear 2 thuds, right? And the girl. I really feel like they broke the railing.
Is something I think we should get the knowledge of dupe. I mean, I wrote down that we heard 2 screams, then a thump, and then glass breaking, but I'm not quite sure.
No, I mean, again, of course, like your characters were sleeping and just like woke up from it, so you would be a little bit confused about it. But what you heard was basically the order of things was scream, thump, scream, glass.
Okay.
Didn't we establish that like the daughter of the innkeeper was holding the glass and she screamed when she saw a dead body arrive in her presence? And then she dropped the glass. So like Scream 2, I think is accounted for. Scream 1 is probably the dead girl, and the broken glass is probably that. So like that's all accounted for, but like, or at least potentially explainable. But I do like the idea that that old Morty brought up about it being trapped. Because like I said, what if it wasn't the girl? What if she wasn't the target? It says target found, but not who the target is.
Well, and speaking, I mean, if we look at this whole thing from a motivation angle, is the victim's family, are they someone special? Did they have any, were they nobles of some sort, or did they have a lot of wealth or anything like that?
Unlikely from the notes.
Yeah. I mean, they seemed,
I've got a question
from your description of the room, they were pretty normal people, so...
What's the alcohol tolerance of a elf around this age?
What their constitution modifier is.
Well, like roughly.
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna say normal.
Are
The same as
species known for like tolerance. Okay.
No.
So like roughly human-ish tolerance.
Yeah, same as a human. Yeah, depends on the individual.
The fact. The fact that we heard the scream first implies that the girl saw whoever it is that got rid of both her and the railing at the same time. So we can infer that if this is indeed a trap, she saw it coming, which means that...
Or, I mean, she screamed while she was falling.
Yeah,
it could be either one. We'll say either one's on the table. I'm leaning towards, when I fall off things, I tend to not be quiet about it. And I would take that she'd probably the same. But yeah, we do need to, it sounds like we need to check on that railing still. And we need to figure out who's staying in room 2 up there as well. So
Is there anything else we want to investigate upstairs?
Hmm.
I feel like
Did
we went by room pretty well, but it's just more not entirely clear which those rooms on the right side of the building, who's staying where. Because we got Phil, we figured out where Sloptick, the Elf family, Phil Rack, and Alpin's family were all staying, but then the other three are still up for grabs. So we got to figure out about what's his face, old Hothead McGee, Bobbert. We got to figure out about him. We got to figure out where.
Yeah, numbers wise, it doesn't
Actually, where is Bobbert staying?
Maybe in one of the rooms, we don't know. Also, probably unrelated, but there's only a double bed for the innkeepers to sleep in. Where is the innkeeper's daughter sleeping?
Yeah,
that is something that I noticed myself. I was going to, I was meaning to, I think I actually did it on Incarnate as well. I revised it with the bed in there, but apparently I forgot to upload it here. So yes, there's supposed to be a third bed in there as well.
We were all caught up on Alpin's family and their sleeping room. Didn't even consider the innkeeper doing.
they just have someone awake at all hours. But yeah, where does Bobbert sleep? Because there we don't have.
He could be one of the rooms, and then someone else doesn't have a room.
I'm seeing 3 unnamed rooms, and Bobbert, Calderon, and the Drow as the 3 unassigned individuals.
Well,
that's what I'm seeing. I only have claws to count with. I think I have like 4 talents per, so like my math might be a little off, but that's what I'm seeing.
Hold on. So I'm gonna write the rooms in. So the fancy room.
Hold on. You don't. No. Don't do that. You don't need to do that.
I'm just going off of Mervin's.
I'm gonna go. I'll put like a token in each, so you know the ones who you know. You don't need to stop writing.
But what I remember is that this room with what's her name, Phil Rack, has 2 beds, even though she seems to be only one person.
Same.
Seems to be.
Same with the bottom right room. There's 2 beds in there. Shouldn't be necessary for who we got left over.
Yeah, but when you investigated this one, it was empty, or there was nobody staying there.
It seemed empty, I believe. Like there was like nothing, no real personal belongings. And not to throw shade at Bobbert, seems like a bit of a drifter. Drifters don't tend to have a lot of personal belongings. They don't keep on their person. So could be where he's staying. He wanted to splurge for the double room. For a good night's sleep. I don't know. But yes, that is what I recall when I looked through there with Mervin approximately 5 minutes ago. Anywho.
Okay, so I'd suggest that I can quickly pop upstairs, check on that railing, and then do a quick run through to see if this room is Bobbert's, or if this room is just really sparsely occupied or something.
Well, and like not to say that all drows know how other drows think, but like if you were traveling in the way that this unnamed individual who looks similar to you suggested, would you be carrying a lot of stuff, or would you be going all like sleek? I'm here for a mission. Only the necessities. James Bond style. There was a guy in Stoneholm we used to call. His name is Bond. And he was real sneaky.
Well, the way that this mercenary figure is already acting is rather strange. I mean, he's not displaying any house affiliation, which already signifies to me that what he's doing here on the surface is some sort of deniable action that if he fails, well, somebody went rogue or something.
Interesting. Went rogue there. I see what you did there, sir.
Yeah.
I see what you did. Interesting. Oh, well, Janice, you're real good at finding the clues compared to me. and like not just throw shade on Mervin, but like Mervin was hit or miss with some of the rooms. It was sometimes great.
I think we should send Mervin up to check the railing as well with his mechanical knowledge. He might understand the infrastructure of how it's built.
Is metal the same as wood? I don't understand how much building materials.
I don't know either, but Mervin would know, wouldn't he?
I don't know.
My
Mervin,
forte, it's not yours.
Mervin says
I have no idea.
Mervin says, "I know everything."
Of course you do, Mervin. Wait. Why didn't we have Todd like guarding people or doing things this entire what were we thinking? What were we thinking? Either way, yeah. You know what, Janice, you and Merv, you go double check upstairs.
Mervin can go and provide help if nothing else.
Yeah. Or I don't know if there's any sort of inspiration that Mervin could do or that you could. I inspire you with my pecs. That's all I got to offer.
I mean, Mervin's somewhat of a flashy genius. If you
on occasion, Mervin's been shown to do that. You are correct.
Okay.
But Mervin is not here. Kate is not here, so I'm not gonna keep track of the flashes of genius. So those are out of the question.
Just a help
Sorry.
action.
Sorry.
Like thematically appropriate help action.
Help is
kind of.
thematically appropriate help. I like the definition of how we operate, guys.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go back to patrolling.
I'll go upstairs, check out those couple of things. Do you guys want to ask the innkeepers whose room is exactly whose?
Yes, I shall do that.
Yeah, sure.
Wait, was it the innkeeper? I forget. Did he know the? Well, I have no idea because I was guarding. Was it him?
Well,
or
they
did
said
he know the logistics more.
No, they said whoever was just near the door at the time did the check-in, so we'll have to ask them both. So we want to find out where both the elves stayed and where Robert stayed.
I got you. And Fred, now that you've gotten this big old dragon like splurge of energy, you're not like if I were to bring both of them in here at the same time, like you could handle yourself in a pinch if we needed to. While as I run.
Yeah. I mean, other than that, potentially that Goliath, he seems reasonably well endowed. You definitely laid out the word there, but the rest of these guys, I think I've got myself covered.
Yeah, I wouldn't dream of like leaving us alone with that Goliath because, like, even to be perfectly frank, even I'm a little bit intimidated about what he brings to the table. Okay, like he's a big old boy. Like that's gonna be a worthy opponent if he and I have to scrap. But I'll go out there. I'll bring you the.
I could certainly write songs about such a fight. However, today might not be the night for such an encounter.
But I will hold you to that. Next time we got a campfire by the lake, I want to hear what you got to say about what you've seen of the Downster right now. But yeah, let's say and 3, 2, 1, break. Real clap as a team. So I'm gonna head back out here.
All right, as you leave the room, everybody has been killed. No, as you leave the room, the innkeeper is actually there along with John, and as John is the first one to come out, the innkeeper is talks to Johnny and says, The young lady here says they need to go, and as you know, the only facilities are the 2 outhouses outside of the inn. Can you take them?
Can I take them? Well, perhaps. I'm gonna pop my head back in here. Hey, Mort,
guys.
Mort. What's up, bud?
Yeah. No, this is like out of character. I think the power is gonna go out in another 5 minutes because it's been on generator power for the last 8 or so hours. So we might have a power cut for an hour in another 5 odd minutes. So I probably will return in an hour. But if I get sleepy, I will probably just not come back. Sorry about this.
All right.
Okay. In that case,
I can do it.
Yeah, so just put me on guard duty.
I'm gonna put Mort on guard duty. I'll go on outhouse patrol.
I'll do it. It's fine. You've got more. You're better at controlling the room, probably.
I can control the room, but I don't know if you know this. I'm not exactly what they call a people person a lot of the time when I talk to people. I can try. Do I need... Is my smile good?
You can try. Use skills that...
It's wonderful.
Thanks. Okay. Maybe if I was inspired by you, it would change things. I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Because you're so charismatic. I just want to be like you. Like, I really, at the end of the day, that's all I'm trying to be. When it comes to my people skills, at least.
So yeah, Donnie's got bardic inspiration. I guess I shall accompany Gian to the laboratory.
Yeah. Sounds
good.
Make sure she doesn't make a break for it.
If she does, she's going to get fucking electrocuted.
And as you walk by, Donnie, I'm just like, listen, like, I have 1,000% faith that you can take care of her in a pinch. Okay, like I'll keep everyone else in here. Like, there's no problems we're gonna have. Alrighty, but keep an eye.
Individually, I think I could take any of these guys, provided they don't get the drop on me. Other than that one good fella.
And make sure she doesn't like stash the murder weapon in the outhouse or something like that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, I'm not saying make her pee with the door open, but like, I mean, keep an ear. Like, I don't know. Either way.
Okay.
Godspeed, bud. I'll try and be the best version of myself while you're gone. Try and be like you.
I know you can do it.
Thanks, bud. I've been working on my people skills. We'll see.
All right, so Frid and Gian leave the inn.
Okay, and hey, Eremias, could you, where's your wife? Where's your wife? That's I forget. That's Belladonna, something like that. Yeah, could you do? Yeah, come here for a sec. Come here. We're just gonna stand in the doorway so I can still kind of see things. Who was staying? Like those 3 rooms against that wall up there. I want to point out where, like, who was staying in which room? I know we found the family, but the other 3, like where are the reservations at for those?
They tell you that Calderon is staying in the next room over, and then the unnamed Drow is in the next one, and then Barbert is in the last one.
Okay. Good to know. Now, this Barbert character, is he a regular around here? He seems like a little bit of a drifter to me. Is that a curiosity?
The innkeeper says, yes, a con man, gambler, comes here often, pays their bills though, so we tolerate them.
Fair enough. Okay, cool. Good to know. What's the general vibe of everyone over there? Just for my own peace of mind. Like, are people still getting riled up about this, or are we kind of more like, this is a process, you got to work through this? Like, what are you seeing? Instead of curiosity.
Aramir says, well, honestly, a lot of people are scared. Many of them are scared. Many are impatient about the situation. Maybe you can do something about it. Maybe I don't know. Let some of them go back to sleep if they are cleared out, or whatever else you can think of.
I mean, maybe it's just one of those tricky situations, right? Because like sometimes, like people, the scariest individuals could put up those masks, and you're like, oh no, you're totally fine, like you're a normal person, but in reality, you're a stone cold killer. Like, and I want to believe a lot of your patrons are good folk, but at least one of them seems to be not so good.
The innkeeper says, yes, I understand that, but this situation right now is I don't mean to criticize your methods too much, but having everybody here with the body and the grieving parents in all in the same area, it just feels wrong.
Oh, we are not in disagreement that it feels wrong, but sometimes that's just kind of how the wheels of justice turn. Well, I'll think of, you know what? Make sure that everyone who's not guilty in the morning is around for breakfast. And I'll make sure that my boy Fred, He plays a killer liar. He'll have a great, resounding performance for them all to raise their spirits come the morning. I know it's not much to offer. No one's like, hey, I want entertainment after this death. But alas, we don't have exactly a lot of things to offer per se. So
the innkeeper's wife says, that's a horrible idea. Don't you understand the weight of the situation? A young girl just died. We can't have any liar playing.
Well, sure. I guess, you know what? I didn't think about this. You haven't seen a lot of death in your guys' life, have you? Maybe I'm a bit more hardened, and that's where the problem comes in. I'm trying to work on my people skills. I'm not good at this. I believe Mervyn calls it empathy. I'm working on it. But, okay. Noted. Okay. But either way, appreciate the information. We'll try and get this wrapped up real quick.
All right. Meanwhile, Fred, you are out in the dark. The moon is clouded away, so it is quite dark. And you don't see any travelers on the road or anything.
Is it dark enough to need a torch?
I mean, the question is, what is dark enough to need a torch? I mean, you can see where you're walking.
Okay.
Yes, you can see where you're walking. I mean, you're outside. It's not, it's never gonna be like pitch black. You're outside in like an open field, so there's gonna be some ambient light. But yeah, Jian seems to still be very upset and is just like sobbing away as you walk over there, and she goes into the outhouse.
Oh, before she, I would have wanted to say something.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. This is a tough experience. I'm sure you have nothing to hide, and everything's going to be all right. We all just need to be honest in this situation.
Jian just says, I don't know.
You don't know about what?
Crocodile tears, man.
She just says, I don't know. I just need to, and she just goes into the outhouse.
I guess I will wait outside unless I hear anything extremely unusual.
You don't hear anything extremely unusual. So meanwhile, Janice is inspecting the railing.
Mm-hmm.
The railing is it's like, I wouldn't say knee height, but a little bit higher than that. So it's a relatively low railing to start with. What you want to know?
Does this look like it could be broken by simply tripping and falling against it? Or is it rather sturdy?
Just sort of testing it out with your hand on one of the pieces still, or one of the bits that is still up there. You think probably like a person's weight dropping down on it would probably just shatter it. It doesn't seem to be the sturdiest railing in the first place.
Okay. And then I'd like to search this area around the railing for signs of a scuffle, like marks on the floor, or as was suggested earlier, signs of some sort of trap, maybe like a tripwire that was set up but is now torn or something similar.
All right, you can drop us an investigation check, aided by Mervyn.
29.
Mervyn coming in clutch.
So
you look over the area and you don't really see any sort of markings out of the ordinary. Like the floor is obviously a little bit worn from people just walking over it, but you don't see anything that would like indicate that somebody's been fighting here or anything like that, and you don't find any signs of a trap.
Do I see any wine stains?
No.
Drinks?
No.
I want to move over to this table here. I believe you described this table as having like some leftover food on it that Tony Hawk hadn't gotten around to cleaning up yet.
Yep.
Is there anything unusual about what's on this table? Are there wine glasses?
No, you don't see anything out of the ordinary, anything that stands out.
Okay. And are there any wine glasses?
No. There are no wine. There's also no wine glasses in this whole building.
Seems like an unimportant detail, Jens.
Well, I'm asking because there was a wine bottle shattered on the floor next to the victim, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, next to the victim was a wine bottle?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
But yes, in this establishment, you're not going to find wine glasses. Any wine is drunk either from a tankard or a bottle. Like it's just the same vessels are used for water and wine and beer and everything.
Okay. Then at this table, do any of the tankards or anything, did they have wine in them, or do they still have wine in them?
No, they're all empty.
Okay.
You don't see any signs of wine being there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then I want to head over to I mean, I don't know that this is Bobbert's room yet, but I want to search this room quick after Mervyn and Donnie said that they hadn't found anything at all in here.
Yep. But first, Jian's done with the outhouse and comes out of there and says we can go back now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Does she look any particularly different or still same scared person?
Give me an insight check.
Insight. Where's insight there? Oh, okay. Pretty good for me.
Seems about the same, like 5% calmer, but
went to the toilet after needing the toilet. Okay, gotcha.
An appropriate level of relief for what she
yeah, I will walk her back. I'm going to ask her during this journey back, how is your family taking all of this?
She says, I don't know. Ask them.
Have you not talked to them?
She says, well, yes, but I don't. This situation. I'm afraid of this whole thing.
What are you afraid of? We're here whilst we're monitoring everyone. Everyone's safe. What's to be afraid of?
He says, well, somebody could kill me.
No, you're fine. Don't worry about it. I'll protect you.
She says, she just looks at you for a moment and just says, "You heartless bastard."
What? Okay. Fine, go on. I'm protecting everyone here. That's literally my job. I'm here to get to the bottom of this.
She just says, but the girl she's dead, and I could be dead, and I just want to go back inside, okay?
That is where we are going.
Not as smooth as an operator as we thought, Fred. I apologize.
I wasn't even trying to.
Don't worry.
All right, so you make your way back inside.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
If shit goes down, out of I'm gonna go out my way to not protect her as long as I can.
And
I would appreciate the job we're doing. She doesn't get the benefit.
I would have, by the time Fred got back, I'm sure the Hawks and I would have finished talking, so it would have been just Fred.
Sure.
Technically, Mort and I up there. Hey, buddy, Fred. The innkeepers bring up a good point. You don't suspect the parents at all, right? Like you're totally, you think that they didn't do anything, correct?
Well,
they seem pretty heartbroken to me. Like their daughter just died. Like
I don't think they've killed their daughter, if that's what you're saying.
Okay, so I think if we could get them out of the middle of the room where everyone's hanging out, maybe that could be a benefit. Do you agree? Disagree? No. What you feeling?
It's definitely something we're gonna need a little bit of
Okay.
magic for.
I mean, maybe, but what if we just? So, I know that you guys had your room over there. I'll sleep on the floor. Let's give them our first floor room. We'll offer to move the daughter over there, get them out of the way, and just make the entire room a little less melodramatically tense. It'll still be tense because there's a murderer about us, but it'll be a little bit better because the parents that are crying. I don't know if you've heard. I could hear them from every room I was in upstairs. They are sobbing still. We got to get them out of the public eye. You agree? Disagree? What do you think? Because I figure I can take a little look at her while I carry her, and then we can look at the crime scene after she's gone. It's not the ideal scenario. That's what I'm saying.
It does make sense for us to offer to move the body into a more private location.
Because, no offense, and I look to Mort for this, they didn't seem too keen on reviving her per se, or finding any information from a dead body. Mort, I understand you got some skills, and I appreciate them. But just, not really a path where I think we're going to follow on this one. I'm trying to think, what would I do if my daughter just died? I don't even have a wife, but what would I do? I would be upset, right? That's what I'm trying to feel. So as long as you're on board with it, Fred and Mort, I'll go ahead and offer. Sound good to you?
Maybe I should do the talking, as I am the smooth operator around these parts.
Hey, you're quite a smooth operator. I've never even seen you strike out with a female when you try to offer to be a protector. I've never even seen that happen.
You haven't seen it happen because it's never happened. So...
You know what? I totally believe you based on everything I've seen so far from what you can accomplish with that silver tongue of yours. How's this? You offer, and I'll be the muscle, and I'll just kind of solemnly go up there and offer to move with you. Sound good?
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go. I still feel very inspired by you, but I would rather you just do it yourself because you're just better. I want to watch the master at work with the silver tongue.
Well, I need your help to help lift her. And that's,
Hey,
to respectfully lift her. I could see you being a pallbearer, on your mighty shoulders.
Most dead bodies are much weaker than what I can do. It's really easy for me to move them around. Don't you worry. It sounds good. I got your back.
Right.
I give him a little dap. We dap.